Welcome to the May 7th, 2025 meeting of the Peabody Conservation Commission. This meeting is being held remotely in accordance with the following. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 18 of 25, notice is hereby given of a meeting of the Peabody Conservation Commission. At this time, the Peabody Conservation Commission hearings will continue to be held remotely, which is allowed pursuant to Governor Maura Healey's March 29, 2023 extension of temporary provisions allowing remote hearing until March of 2025, and further extended by the House remote meeting flexibility extend through June 30th of 2027, signed by Governor Maura Healey on March 28th, 2025. The public may participate in this meeting remotely. So tonight, present for tonight's meetings are Mike Vivaldi, Secretary, Arthur Athis, Commissioner, Bruce Comack, Commissioner, Commissioner Amanda Green, Vice Chairman, myself, Mike Rizzo, and that's it right now. Okay, I think we're expecting one more. I am running this meeting. I'm vice chairman and filling in for Stu Lazarus, who's not here tonight. Okay. Our first item on the agenda is nomination committee. Arthur Athis was our nominating chairman for this effort.
The nomination committee nominates Stu Lazarus as chairperson, Michael Rizzo as vice chairperson, and Michael Vivaldi as secretary. Those are
okay, so the slate has been read. Do you want to take a vote?
Yeah. Do we have to individually or as a group, or I don't know? Sure.
Motion, you could just say motion to accept the slate of offices, and then we could just say
I move to accept
yes.
Office as just presented.
Okay.
Second.
Michael, second that. Everybody all in favor? I don't have to take a vote or just raise our hands.
I do have to do a roll call.
Okay.
Roll call. So that was the same slate of Chairman Lazarus, Vice Chairman Rizzo, and Secretary Vivaldi. Roll call. Vice Chairman Rizzo.
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi.
Yes.
Commissioner Athis.
Yes.
Commissioner Comack.
Yes.
And Commissioner Green. Amanda?
You're muted, Amanda.
Yes.
All right, so the officers remain the same, and as we're finishing that, at 7:05, Brian Cassidy just came into the meeting.
Okay, Brian can vote then if he wants.
Well, if you guys would have to do that all over again.
Oh.
Because he literally just was coming in. I don't know if he heard that. I mean, if he heard it, he can. I don't think he did though. Brian, we just did the officers, and we just finished the vote.
Nope, he's muted. There you go. Oh. It's showing that you're muted, Brian. There you go. Can you hear us? All right. Okay, we'll just get started. Our first item on tonight's meeting is under notices of intent. Item number 1 is a continued public hearing on a notice of intent submitted by John Kelty, Esquire of Samir Zeppa, applicant owner. The proposed project consists of the removal of an existing dwelling, pool, driveway, and the construction of a multifamily house with utilities and driveway. The proposed Property is known as 20 Parsons Street, map 95, lot 380, in the city of Peabody. Is the petitioner here?
Yep, I just promoted them to panelists, but it takes a little bit of time for them to pop over, so.
Okay, all right.
I think, are we in now?
Yes,
This is John Kelty. I'm an attorney. I have offices at 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. I appear this evening on behalf of Samir Zapaj. We have filed a notice of intent for the property at 20 Parsons Street here in Peabody. We filed that on or about 17. Abutters notices via certified certificate of mailing were provided on 3/28/25. We have been assigned a DEP number 55903. Our hearing this evening is continued from April 9th's meeting. And then there was I'm sorry, I don't think our meeting date was the 9th. Our on-site was on the 9th of February, 9th of April. At that meeting, the board was well represented, as well as some citizens. We have provided under date of April 30th, 2025, we filed with the DEP and this commission revised plans that show a second structure on the lot that that is smaller than that which was originally showed to you. The revised site development permit plan results in the following differences from the original that we had filed. The proposed dwelling on the westerly side of the site, which is the right-hand side of the site, has been reduced from 36 feet in depth to 26. The proposed retaining walls on the rear and the right side of the property have been eliminated. A deck is proposed at the ground floor level, at the first floor level. And these proposed changes result in the reduction of the alteration of the 100-foot riverfront and and of the 100-foot buffer zone. That total alteration now becomes 520 square feet. We have also incorporated information from, as directed, by the way, from DEP. We provided information relating to the pending FEMA flood maps. We've incorporated the new FEMA line, which is shown on our plan as the approximate Zone A. The approximate Zone A 100-year flood elevation taken from the FEMA firm map, and then we recite that pending map, the panel number. We have shown that the Conservancy District elevation to be protected is an elevation of 38. And as I've said previously, we have incorporated the pending FEMA map into our plan of the existing conditions. I think that my notes reflect that we were also we've placed no disturb markers, have been relocated to the erosion control line. And as I said, we moved the northerly corner of the erosion control barrier has been moved northerly of contour 38. We have also looked at the issue of no cut zone. And although we did not add such a note to the plan, we're happy to add the note or indication that the no-cut zone would be everything beyond the limited work line that we've shown on the plan.
Okay,
With that,
maybe I didn't see it. Do we have that plan?
Through the chair, I never received that plan. I got an existing conditions plan, but that's it. I've never seen what he's talking about.
Okay, yeah, because, yeah, everything I've seen so far since I've been reviewing this today was,
well,
is go ahead. I have the existing site, I have the existing conditions plan, that was forwarded. And the NOI is just showing the, plan that we've been looking at all up until what you just explained. I haven't seen what you just talked about, Jack.
if you don't have that plan as part of your package, I don't know how we move from this point.
Yeah, yeah, everything you just said, I've never seen before.
Yeah, Jack, did you give it to me? Because all I
I-
know is that Chris emailed Stewart the
Obviously did.
existing conditions plan. That's all I know. I've never seen a revised plan.
Yeah, I thought that I did mail them to DEP, and I believe that there were 2 sets of plans in an envelope at your office, but obviously if you didn't get them,
The ones that you gave me were existing conditions.
um, yes, I did give you 2 existing conditions, but then subsequent to that date, I felt that I gave you these plans. But are you sure your plans are not 4 sheets?
I mean, I'll look tomorrow, but regardless, you guys always need to give us an electronic copy, and that's why I had to have Stu email Chris for the existing plan because it, we without electronic copies, the commission
I
doesn't get
understand.
to look at it. So I can't make it electronic for you guys. So you guys have to figure that out.
Okay. Well, I would respectfully request that this matter be continued until your June meeting.
Okay. What I, and just, with regard to the existing, site plan, even though I'm looking at it as a PDF on my screen, I can generally scale it up, but the plan that you did provide us has no title, there's no title block. That it says it's an existing site plan and there's no bar scale or a scale on the plan. If you could add that on there, I appreciate that.
Chairman Rizzo, that plan is the one that I brought to the site visit and
Yeah.
distributed. That plan has since been made sheet 2 of the set and has the title, legend, and all the appropriate information on it. And that was what was not electronically committed to the commission. So
Okay,
you will have that, and it is done.
okay. All right, then, if it's okay, we are a public hearing, so I don't know whether we want to open it up to the public.
Yep, just
We good?
before you do that, Mike, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but before you do that,
Yeah.
last meeting, I noticed on the existing condition plan, you guys asked last month, you said that you wanted the revised plan, both the existing condition and the new plan, and the plan of the duplexes. You guys said that you wanted them to have all of the trees over a certain diameter. It was in the minutes of last month. I did share it with
Yes.
Attorney Kelty, and I shared it with you guys. So that
Yes.
plan, even though there's some copy somewhere, I don't know where, probably sitting at the counter at community development or something, but it needs to get revised to show you guys wanted to have all the trees. I can't remember what the diameter was, but again, it's in the
6
minutes,
inches.
and I shared it with Attorney Kelty.
Yeah, that was all trees over 6 inches 6 inches in diameter and over.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
At that visit, site visit, when we were walking, we noted that there were 2 large trees on the left side of the property, and there were no trees of any consequence on the Parsons Street side of the fence. And my understanding was that I wasn't going to show any additional trees because the trees of any caliper or consequence were between the limit of work and Strongwater Brook. And that is a no-cut zone, no work is taking place. So I think I've shown all of the trees, call it anything you like, 6-inch caliper or greater in that zone. And what Attorney Kelty and I had discussed is we had talked about this land eventually, we would subdivide it into 2 lots. When that plan went on record, I would take the erosion control limit and I would put that on both lots as a no-cut zone from the erosion control to Strongwater Brook. So that would protect all of that land. But I don't think there's any trees in the work zone to show.
Okay. Well, I think just in general, on an existing
Wanna add a
conditions
note?
plan, where there's a river and a limit of work, and in between that is vegetation of some type, not having trees, certainly of that size, shown in that area, would make it difficult for us to.
All right. So I
to
will locate the 30 to 40 trees in there and show them on the plan. Is that the?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It helps,
I
you,
just
it
wanted
helps.
to understand what you need. So 6 inches of caliper or greater would suffice?
I think so,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay,
Anything else we should concern on the note for the
well,
plan
it's,
to be
let me see.
revised? I don't have it in front of me. It's,
Okay, and that elevation of 38 is identified. I see, yeah, conservation, I saw it
38
anyway,
is
yeah,
the
see
conservancy
that.
elevation.
Yeah,
36
John, can
is
you
the
share your
100-year
screen with
pending.
us? So that we can see the plan or no?
well, it's, we really need to have time to look at it and review
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be best just to wait.
Open it up to the public and ask questions.
So the public, the public that was in attendance last meeting, we had 3 or 4 people who spoke, quite a bit, and, just in fairness of everybody, you have the right to speak. If you've already spoken from last time, and you want to speak again, that's okay, but we do have on record, what you all said last time, and would rather have you save, be able to see, well, we already talked about the existing conditions from before and the proposed plan that they presented last time, but there's a new plan basically is coming before us. So you could ask questions, but we really can't offer much more than what we have from last time because we have no idea what it really looks like. But I will open it to the public and maybe just keep your questions
To a minimum.
to a minimum, because they'll be back again next month, and you could ask your questions again. But in fairness to everybody who's taken the time to attend this meeting, I will open it up to the public or whoever might want to speak. Thank you.
So if you're in the public and you want to speak, please raise your hand now. But again, as Vice Chairman said, we're waiting for a plan, and anyone can email me for that plan. I just don't have it yet. I don't think anyone is raising their hand.
Okay. So I'll make is there a motion to continue this to our next meeting?
I make a motion to continue to June 2nd, Wednesday in June 2025.
Okay.
Seconded.
Second,
Thank you.
Okay, that motion to continue to the June meeting was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Ms. Green. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
He's watching the Celtics.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes,
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, great. And it doesn't look like anyone raised their hand. So anyone in the audience, feel free to email me for the agenda. I believe it is June 11th and
It is.
same time, same place.
June 11th, yes.
Yep. All right, great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward. Item number 2 on the agenda is also a notice of intent. It's a public hearing on notice of intent submitted by LEC Environmental Consultants, Inc., Nicole Ferrara, for Jean Carlos Marquis Ramundo, owner. The proposed project consists of installation of above-ground pool, deck, retaining wall, and work associated with site grading in the backyard. Property is known as 231 Lympfield Street, map 100, lot 106, in the city of Peabody.
Hi, good evening, commission members. My name is Nicole Ferrara from LEC, and I'm representing the homeowner and applicant Jean Ramundo. I'm just going to share my screen. Like Mr. Vice Chair said, we are filed an NOI to construct a deck and a pool off the rear of an existing single-family house, as well as a retaining wall. And first, I'm just going to open up the aerial to familiarize the commission with the site. So here's our site. It's in the southern portion, south central portion of town, just south of Centennial Drive. And it is Goldwaith Brook occurs in the north of the property. You can see there's surrounded by residential development for the most part. We have a single family house surrounded by lawn and landscaping. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And then we have an existing driveway that extends northerly from Linfield Street to a parking area. And I'm gonna pull up the site plan so you can get a better sense of the site. Here's that same property with the existing dwelling and that driveway. We have an existing wooden deck off the rear of the property with some stairs descending to the lawn area. We also have a shed in the back portion of the lawn. And you can see we have an existing lawn edge with this scalloped green line just to the north. And then we have some forested uplands and wetlands just beyond that lawn edge. You can kind of see the topography slopes, kind of moderately, gently to the north, and the dwelling and the deck sits on this little hill. Now, in terms of resource areas, LEC was out in January and March of this year to delineate the wetland boundary. You can see there's a BVW in the north that borders the brook. We have flags 1 through 10, and this black line that demarcates the BVW boundary. And then from there, also in black, we have the 50-foot no disturbance and 100-foot buffer zone that kind of cuts the property in half. Also on site, we do have an intermittent stream that starts at this head wall right along the eastern portion of the property. It's located within a drainage easement. It is not mapped on the USGS map, but we did confirm the intermittent status with stream stats. And it does flow to the north before it merges with Goldthwaite Brook up here. And so this is the pink line for the intermittent stream, and then we are showing the 200-foot buffer zone to that stream, again with this pink line. So the entire site, or I guess northern site, is within that buffer zone. Now onto the perennial stream itself. We have Goldthwaite Brook with flags B1 through B7 with this blue line. And then again, our buffer zones are in blue. So we have the 100-foot riverfront area and then 200-foot riverfront area. So you can see, some of the existing structures are within the riverfront area, such as the shed and a portion of the driveway. Now, lastly, for resource areas, got a lot going on with this site. We have bordering land subject to flooding. That's zone AE, and that does occur at elevation 88. You can see we have this dashed line right here with the label pointing to elevation 88. And now I'm going to talk about the proposed conditions. So we are going to propose a 480 square foot pool in the backyard within the existing lawn area. And then we're also proposing a 492 square foot wooden deck that's going to be around the pool. And that's going to be an extension of the existing wooden deck. You know, the same, similar elevation, just, you know, extended on. It'll have the same features, same type of deck, same railing. And then the stairs are going to remain to access the backyard. And you can see the pool is partially located and the deck are partially located within that 200-foot riverfront area. But it is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone to the BBW back here. And then our last activity, I'll zoom in a little bit more, is this proposed wall. The applicant's proposing a 32-inch high natural stone wall that'll be constructed along the existing grade. And then the wall is within that 200-foot riverfront area and within the buffer zone to BVW, as well as the buffer zone to the intermittent stream. And no work you can see is proposed within the floodplain where we kept everything outside. And no vegetation will be removed as all the work is within the existing lawn area. And for mitigation, we are proposing a limit of work line that is just along, you know, the side property boundaries, north of the retaining wall, and then along the other side boundary. It'll be a 12-inch compost sock, and we did include a detail on the plan. We actually did submit a revised plan. I apologize. Pull that up right here. The revised plan just includes this detail to the right side of the plan here, and then we added the height of the retaining wall as well. And we're also proposing to do some mitigation planting specifically to meet the riverfront area performance standards. We put together a sketch map showing where we're going to do the plantings. We have a list of native species on the bottom, and we're proposing at least 10 enhancement shrubs within the riverfront area along the lawn edge. So the lawn will be removed and then replanted with at least 10 of these shrubs. And we expect that at least 3 of the species will be represented and installed. And that's just to improve, you know, the function and values of the riverfront area and bordering land subject to flooding, and then to offset the work that is slightly closer to the brook than the existing conditions. And that just about covers the project. I'm happy to turn it back over to the commission to answer any questions.
I have a few questions. I was looking at on the notice. On the notice, it shows a house, the backyard, but it looks like, it doesn't look anything like the aerial photo from the that you just had on there. It looks like it's an open, no trees or anything, yet the aerial that you were looking at, it looks like it's got a lot of trees and all kinds of things like that. Yet the plan, it shows almost like a different kind of house maybe. Is that the right lot? Is that the right home?
Yep, yeah, I know it does look a little bit different with the I believe the roof was redone, but it is the same same house and the same structure that was in that aerial. The aerial is about 2 years older than 2025. I think it was a 2023 aerial, and I believe there was just there was more fallow, you know, overgrowing shrubs and some down trees, but it was the same lot.
Okay, all right. I have a couple questions. All right, so if you're putting a retaining wall back there, that's like 2.5 foot high wall. Is there a reason for that? Is it a balanced stone wall? Is that what it is? Or are you filling 2.5 feet of the property?
No, it'll be a natural stone wall that's gonna just be the stones itself, and that's just gonna follow the existing grade. There's a pretty steep slope already, so they're just
Yeah.
gonna use it as a border in the backyard. The neighbor actually to to the left here has a very similar wall that goes along the back of their property, and they're just gonna match theirs with the neighbor's wall to keep it going.
Oh, okay, so there's no change in grade for the most part. The existing grade's gonna stay in your deck. It's gonna come out off the existing deck and, at the most northerly part will be much higher than, at
Lower.
the, closer to the house.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so when I saw that wall, I was saying, well, it looks like if they're putting a retaining wall in there, it looks like I get a lot of questions about that. So you're not changing the grade?
No, I mean, there might be some like filling just to, make sure everything's balanced, but there's not going to be, feet and, major grade changes or anything like that.
Okay, all right, because there's a stone wall now on the, looking at the plan, on the right
Yes.
side, there's an existing stone wall. So you're not gonna affect that, you're not gonna be filling against that wall, and on the other side, there's a fence, I guess? It's like
Yes,
a
yep,
fence?
there's a fence, so we're not going all the way to the end there,
Okay.
just kind of putting a border here.
Is it just
All
for,
right.
it's aesthetics only?
Yep, I believe it is just aesthetics.
So it's not a retaining wall, I should have said a balanced stone wall.
Yeah, we wanted to cover our bases, just in case there was a little bit of
Not really
earth
retaining.
Well,
movement.
we need to know that though, if you're bringing in material.
Changing the grade.
Yeah,
No,
you
yeah,
need to know.
no material will be brought in. But if things just need to be shifted around a little bit, we wanted to cover our bases and call it a retaining wall.
Well, no, it shouldn't be a retaining wall, it's
Right.
not, it's a balanced stone wall, and it's a field stone, it's a, natural stone. And it's a balanced wall, it's not holding earth back. I'm not talking about a few inches, I'm not worried about that. But basically you already have a yard back there and a lawn back there, so the wall is just ornamental. And, I don't wanna have any misrepresentation or confusion that all of a sudden now we have a wall back there that somebody can start filling their backyard in. But that's not gonna happen.
No, understood.
Okay. Okay. Um,
How much grading is necessary for the actual pool itself?
No grading is necessary for the pool. It's a flat surface, so it should go right in.
That's not,
so you probably
every
cut,
pool needs some grading, miss. So
I'm
you,
not sure the exact amount, but I can ask the homeowner. He's gonna do this himself.
yeah, I'm guessing on the most northerly part of the pool, at that point, you'll probably have to cut into the slope. And the part at the back of the existing deck will be in the ground a foot, maybe
Mhm.
half a foot, so the pool is level.
Yep.
the slope
And
is
it
going
not-
down, they'd have to bring up the backside, right? To level it with the.
No, not
Yep,
if
so
they,
this is
not if
all
they
a
cut
flat
in.
area right here, or essentially, we have 92.68, 92. So it's about a half a foot difference between back here and
Right,
this grade.
so the bottom of the pool, or the elevation of the water at the bottom of the pool, at the northerly end should be around elevation 92. I'm
Yes.
thinking, and he's cutting in to, construct the pool up to his deck, unless he's doing it differently. He could let him tell us if he plans on holding so it's like 6 inches, holding the 92.6 grade and leveling out and bringing material in to level it out and just do a little grading around that. I don't have a problem with that. Just curious if,
I don't know what's
if
going
he's,
on.
yeah, if he's here, if he knows already how he's gonna do that.
Yeah, I believe he works pretty late nights, so I don't believe he's on the meeting, unfortunately. But I believe, you can see the grades here that something is going to have to happen to get the
Yeah.
pool to be level.
Yeah, so
But,
if
either way, it'll be a minor change.
right, but that contour at 92, it's either gonna stay 92 or it's gonna be raised up, and I'm assuming, I don't know whether if he's got a machine going in there to be able to, grade it and level the area for the pool, whether, I would probably, if it was my house, I'd probably want to cut in at the deck location, the 6 inches, so that when you get out to the northerly end, you're at 92 roughly. So
Mhm.
you just got, a little bit of the wall of the pool is 6 inches in the ground, and the rest blends real nicely with the backyard. So,
Yeah, it'll be all level back there. Yep.
okay. All right. Anybody else have questions on this? There's some, we have the erosion control details. And there's about some plantings. You mentioned about having plantings, but we don't really show.
Is
Um,
there any option of, have you thought about rotating the pool 90 degrees and try to minimize the disturbance of it out further it goes into the other direction?
I have not discussed that with the homeowner, but this is the shape. I believe it's an easier way, to get from the deck versus having the whole pool taking up the side of the deck. Might just be a preference thing. But we didn't explore that option.
To me, it seems like you could minimize but you have to go closer to the edge, closer to the, probably the property line to do that. If you rotate it 90 degrees, you'd have to go closer to the property line to fit it in, minimizing the disturbance in the riverfront.
Yeah.
The riverfront.
It is only partially within the riverfront area. And like I mentioned, we are doing our restoration plantings with our planting plan here to offset that impact to the riverfront area.
Can you,
So the planting plan, there's nothing, we don't have a plan that shows where the plantings are and the,
what they
and
are?
the type and the quantities.
Yep,
Is
so
it-
we have I can zoom in. Oop,
Witch hazel,
what?
sea, sweet pepper bush.
Yep, so we are proposing 16 shrubs. They will be in groups of 3 to 5 and will be spaced 5 feet apart. And then we have our list of species, and we have asked the applicant to choose at least 3, with each species representing at least 25% of the total. So we have some good representation for the buffer zone there. And then that'll be installed just along the edge of the lawn within that wooded area.
So behind the stone wall or in front of the closer to the house stone wall?
That'll be behind, closer to the river. So if we're looking at the site plan, it'll be right along the scalloped edge to further enhance the buffer zone.
Okay, but there, yeah, okay, there's no erosion controls out there though. You're gonna be walking out there and planting, digging and planting, but they're just small potted plants, aren't they?
Yep, we expect shrubs and I believe 1 or 2 small saplings.
I see.
Can you show the stone wall again and the existing conditions? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So the wetlands are really far back. So
Yeah, we have our 100-foot buffer zone here, but we do also have our intermittent stream
yeah.
that runs along the side of the property boundary.
So would you be, is it this mitigation, vegetation mitigation is planned for basically along the 80-foot contour line, or would you say, or is it even further back?
We have it a little bit further back towards this lawn edge.
Oh, okay.
Yep, just to kind of extend what's already there of the wooded vegetation.
Would the property owner consider letting that area grow back to its natural state and not maintain it as lawn anymore?
I think he would be open to it. We were planning on doing it kind of along this lawn edge. And if, the commission insists on having it go fallow, we can definitely discuss that.
think I
We
like,
just gotta be careful, because, yeah, you have wetland flags that are inside that green tree line. You know, so you just wanna make sure that nothing's happening with that.
Of course.
That's why I thought if you like showed a planting area, we would just know where we would expect plants, and there'd be no mistake that there's somebody not planting in the buffer, in the BBW.
Through the chair.
Yeah,
So basically, you were adding this planting just to up the ante on the swimming pool. You don't have to put it in, right?
We were in order to comply with the riverfront area standards, we have to show an improvement to the riverfront area. So that is what the planting plan is for.
Oh, okay, okay.
all right. All right. So I mean, I'm okay with that. I would just like to see an area identified as the planting area, so we know we know, or we agree that where the plants are, and we don't find out that the plants, because nobody knew where they were going, went someplace else.
Yep, understood. Yep. We we can edit the plan to add the planting plan on. It'll be in the same. I know it's a little hard to see the lawn edge on the aerial, but just, back here in this square, and we can just ask the surveyor to add that same square right here.
I'd like to
And through
discuss.
the chair, could you guys also put as the species on it? I think he is a landscaper, but it's just the more stuff that goes on this plan, if I don't work for the city anymore, it's easier for another agent to come in and look at one plan and not have to look for another plan.
Yep, we can add the plants on as well to the plan to make it all in one package.
Okay.
I'd like to
I'm
kind
I'm
of
okay.
encourage the homeowner to let that area, the grass area it's in the back, become more fallow and more natural state.
Yeah, through the chair, just because I'm a sucker, I think his kids actually play soccer back there. So I
Yes, they
mean,
do.
maybe you guys could request like a post and rail fence, along where like flag 7 and 8, and then they could plant behind the fence, and then what's beyond the fence can go, natural. But I know that his kids definitely, he was really sweet. He asked if it was okay if they continue to play soccer, and I said of course. But that's up to you guys. So I mean, maybe a post and rail fence, right before the bordering vegetated wetland, because that will keep people out of the wetland, like soccer balls. And then the restoration right behind that fence, like, sort of near, like, parallel-ish to the 7 going over next door to the property to the left of this plan.
106, lot
If
106.
if I'm making any sense there, like a post and rail fence across the back,
Yep.
and then on the other side of the post and rail is those plantings, and then that way soccer balls and stuff isn't going to be smashing them. And then behind that fence could grow back, and I think that would be, that would be nice, and they'd still be able to keep their yard, because I know he bought this house for the yard. If you went out there, you would never think, unless you're like a wetland specialist, you would just be like, oh, cool, grass. It's not wetlands.
Yeah.
Isn't this property close to the YMCA? Or is it not, am I mistaken?
It is sort of close. It's on the same road.
Yeah, but I thought it was, but it's not. Is it beyond First Ave or on like closer to Peabody? It's not from going from Summit Street to, it's, this property is before Summit, I mean, before First Ave?
I think it is before First Ave, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's before the YMCA going toward the Lynn Rotary.
Yeah.
It's like before Tel Aviv or whatever that yeah, I believe it's before First Ave. I'm pretty sure.
Is anyone on the, is the
Um,
commission answered its
it's-
questions, is it?
I'm basically okay with, showing the plants on the plan. But I do want, that wall, the name on that wall changed. I want that to be a retaining wall taken out. I wanted to say 32-inch balanced stone wall, not retaining wall.
Right, we can do that.
Along with what Lucia just mentioned regarding the regarding the regarding
Yep,
the
the plantings and the
yeah.
Post and
fencing.
rail fence.
Yes, we have no problem making those changes. Right, looks like gonna request a continuance at this time to make these modifications to the plan.
Okay.
Did we want to open it to the, I don't think there's anyone here, but just in case someone is here, did we want to
Yeah.
open it to public? If anyone's in the public, please raise your hand now. And seems like no one is there, so go ahead.
Okay. So what's the commission want to do? You want to, continue this, or you want to close the hearing and issue an order, but make sure we get a revised plan?
I'm good with the second one.
What was the second?
To close the public hearing and just make sure that they update the plan.
Yeah, because the summer's coming and I'm sure they want to put up their pool in, so I'm okay with that if we can get a revised plan and everything is understood what we talked about. Are we willing to close the public hearing and we could issue an order and hold the order till we get the revised plans that we asked for?
Great. Oh, would appreciate
That-
that. Thank you,
Is
Commissioner
that okay with
members.
you, Lucia?
I think that's great because it's a single family house and
Yeah.
let me just go over what you guys want on the revised plan. You want the retaining wall to be revised to say 32-inch balance wall.
Balanced stone wall.
Balance stone wall. We want the post and rail fence along that back edge, like right before where I think that was 7 and 8 flag, a little before that. And then the plantings on the other side of that post and rail fence, correct? Like close to the wetlands, obviously. Like the fence would go like right where it says map 100 lot, like right across that.
Yep.
Right? Are you guys, the commission,
Yeah,
agree
I'm
with
okay.
that?
I'm okay. Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
okay
and
with that.
I think that's all I wrote down, that you want to post and rail plantings on this plan with the names of the plants and the quantities, and then the revision of the retaining wall to be called a balanced 32-inch stone wall. And you guys would obviously, the motion would be to hold it contingent on the revisions. I would be
Correct.
100% fine with that.
Correct.
And I want to add in like a survivorship of the survivorship to have a certain percent, like we've done before, of plantings, 100% survivor, just to make sure they take care of them, whatever planting they're doing.
All right.
That's a good point. Thank you, Amanda.
Yep.
All right, do we have a motion to close?
Um, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
To close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay,
All right, that motion to close was made by Mr. Atha, seconded by Mr. Vivaldi. Roll call. Vice Chairman Rizzo,
yes,
Secretary Vivaldi,
yes.
Commissioner Athas,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so the public hearing is closed 6-0.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, commission members. Appreciate it.
We haven't
Have a
voted
good
yet.
evening.
yeah, okay, now, so,
We haven't,
no, vote to issue an order of conditions. And recommend standard, conditions, standards 1 through 50, and then the provisions, for a pool. If they have to lower the pool, the water of the pool, that they have to make sure that the chlorine has to dissipate, and, no chlorine added for 7 days, and, so that chlorinated water wouldn't get into the wetlands. That would be, material to be stockpiled in the driveway as stated on page 12 of the narrative. So what material are we talking about, actually? Lucia, did you?
I don't know what you're talking about. What it's in. Did I write it, or you're reading this
Yes.
off of their
Yes.
narrative?
No, I'm reading it from the, our notes about orders of conditions. I'm assuming that there's really not gonna be any stockpiling, except maybe if he carves out a spot to level the pool, that material would be either taken away or spread around.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so it does say on page 12 of the narrative, it says material to be stockpiled in driveway. I think that you should just put that as a condition, honestly.
Okay,
Just because
so-
it's in the NOI and we don't want them stockpiling anywhere else.
yeah, so probably the material for the pool. We're talking about the pool material. Okay,
probably.
all right. Yeah,
And or soil. It sounds like I ended up on this site. This was the site I ended up after Rita Marie's funeral. I stopped here because he had soil and he was filling in FEMA floodplain, and he's a really nice guy. I got him to stop, and he did everything I said, and he filed an NOI. So I don't. That's why I'm a little. Maybe he thinks he can bring soil in, but since you guys are changing that the stone wall, that'll.
right.
I'll make it clear to him. I'll call him. I have an interpreter too. English isn't his first language, so I should be able to get an interpreter to talk to him for me and make sure he understands everything. But
And
yeah,
you-
I think that would be a good condition to have, just because you don't want him stockpiling anywhere else.
Okay, and we should have the condition about, regarding, the pools.
Yes, that is always 49. I don't know why I didn't put this on this one.
Yeah.
And I will make sure he understands that. I'll talk to him about that as well. Nicole, I'm sure you already know this, but most city and towns, Peabody, we have a local ordinance, and it's a local condition that you can't put any chemicals in the pool for 7 days if you need to do a drawdown. I will make that clear to him as well. I'm gonna give him a call. I'll probably go see him before he starts the work and make sure he understands everything, just so there's no miscommunication.
Inspect the erosion
Okay.
controls too, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna
have
inspect
to.
erosion controls, right?
Yep. And I believe Portuguese is his first language, and one of my colleagues is fluent, and she won't have a problem getting out of the office and coming out with me for a little bit. So
Okay,
we can make sure. But I would also suggest you guys, the survivorship, what Amanda said about, I'm not sure if it's actually
Yeah.
in the narrative. Nicole, I feel like LEC normally puts some sort of a
Yeah,
survivorship.
we usually spec around 75%. We didn't put it in our narrative for this one, but we would be happy to commit to, 75%.
okay.
Maybe that can also be put on the plan.
Yes, we can add that too.
Okay. Sounds good.
We haven't voted yet.
Right.
Yep, and then one more thing I did notice was the like I would also add condition 52, certificate of compliance cannot be issued until the 10 native enhancement shrubs, um 3 species total are installed. And then in their narrative it said only straight native saplings will be installed, no landscape cultivars as stated on page 13 of the NOI narrative. A whole excavation for plant install shall be twice as wide and twice as deep as the root ball. And the invoice should be submitted at the time of the certificate of compliance request. And this is where we would also add that 75% survivorship.
Okay. Sounds good.
We agree, Lucia. That's great information.
Okay, we'll take a vote.
All right, so did anyone make that motion? I think we were just
Um,
discussing, so
I-
someone's got
Yeah,
to.
I asked to make a motion to issue an order. So if somebody wants to second that, then we can vote.
I'll make a motion that all the items for the revision of the plan and the standard conditions and all the other items for the vegetation planting plan to be into the order of conditions for this property at 231 Linfield Street.
Second that.
All right, so that motion. Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that motion was made by Mr. Vivaldi, seconded by Mr. Athos. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call, and then before we leave, I'm just going to repeat all that just so that Nicole knows what she needs to do. Roll call: Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that motion passes 6-0, 6-0, and so we are going to be. The motion was made contingent on the revised plan to show what we discussed, correct?
Correct.
All right. So again, Nicole, I am starting vacation tomorrow at around noon. So if you want to chat about this with me before I take off, I can put it all in writing for you, but we do need a revised plan showing the post and rail fence, the plantings on the plan with their names, the 75% survivorship, the retaining wall to be revised to say a 32-inch balanced stone wall. And again, that is contingent, the order of conditions was approved contingent on that revised plan being approved by staff, I'm assuming, correct, everybody?
Yes.
Great.
Great. No, perfect. Think I got it all. Should be all set. We will send over those revised plans as soon as they're done.
Excellent.
Just so you know, Nicole, like by tomorrow, you should be able to, if you go on Peabody Access TV, this video will be up on there, so you'll be able to listen to everything again.
All right, great. Good to know. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Next item on the agenda is under request for determination of applicability. It's item number 3. It's a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability submitted by Barry Fogel, Esquire, legal counsel for the Salem Country Club. Proposed project consists of the upgrade of the club's irrigation system. Property is known as 133 Forest Street, map 59, lot 81 in the city of Peabody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, there's Bill Rocco. All right. Barry Fogel, as you mentioned, from our Salem Country Club, and with me is Bill Rocco, the course superintendent. This is a request for determination of applicability for the installation of a new irrigation system throughout the course. The current irrigation system is 30 years old and 10 years past its design life. So I will share my screen. Well, hold on a second, bear with me. So with the request, there was a set of figures that I hope you've had a chance to look at. But so what's the background images are for each of the holes. The black lines are the irrigation system parts, and the green is the delineated wetlands. The orange is the intermittent streams on the course. And the blue lines are buffer zones. This is the first hole as just an example. All work is going to occur outside of any resource area and outside of any of the no disturb zones that have been designated on the course. All work is only going to be in buffer. There are mainline pipes that range from 4 inches to 8 inches in diameter. They have laterals running off of them that are 3 inches in diameter or less, and then small zone pipes that are 1 inch in diameter to reach further out. They're interconnected with valves, couplings, the like, and have the rotary pop-up sprinkler heads that golf courses use when they're irrigating in that area. The different sizes are used in increments or based on how far of an area they're trying to reach. The existing irrigation system is going to be disconnected and left in place, which will reduce the amount of work that's going to happen. In each instance, what will happen is working one hole at a time. A trench a couple of feet deep would be excavated with material stockpiled or staged right next to the trench. The system will be installed in that location, and then that material will be replaced. No new material is going to be brought in, and no material will be taken off-site or disposed of anywhere on site. And the idea would be in only a few places would there be any kind of grade change or elevation on the whole where there might be work near a resource area. And those would be the only areas where the course would expect to put staked quar rolls in place. We didn't put together an erosion control plan throughout all of these drawings. This is the first hole. This is the second hole and third hole. The idea would be to basically come to you at the time when the work was going to be conducted and maybe walk with Lucia or any members of the commission and just kind of, or look at the figures and just kind of pick the priority areas where that would even be an issue. But as I say, the material is going to be stockpiled temporarily and only temporarily near each of the locations. The other aspect to this is let me get to the sixth hole. So there are two places where the system will have to cross Forest Street. One is between the fifth hole green and the sixth hole T. This is Forest Street here in the middle, and it would be done without any disruption to Forest Street or to the stone wall or any vegetation. These would be pits that would be excavated for directional drilling to put the pipe that connects them under the road. We would work with the DPW and the planning board just to confirm that there would be no disruption of any kind to Forest Street. So that's one place where there would happen. The other one is here at the eighth hole. I'm over on the left side of the figure where my cursor is. This is the eighth green, and it would cross the street here. The two locations for the pits are actually shown on the diagram for the ninth hole, which is, pardon me, for the eighth hole. Oh, I should go back up. Here we go. So here's the pit on one side. Let me zoom in. And the other one's up here on the ninth hole. So as I say, so most of this work here's an example on the eighth hole, only some of the work is in this buffer zone right here, the 100-foot buffer zone to the wetland. But all of the last structures on that edge are outside of this designated no disturb zone on the course. And we worked with the designer to make sure that all of those sprinkler heads and all of that work is outside, as I say, of any of the no disturbs, the few that were placed around the course. Let me share one other diagram. Bear with me. Come on, cursor. Yeah. All right, here we go. So I'll share this. Where's the share? There we go. All right. Thank you for your patience on that. So this diagram is an example of what that crossing would be under. So this surface, this is the road surface here in this sketch. This is the setback distance that the excavation would be, probably 40 feet. And this is the depth. So it would be a minimum of 4 feet beneath the road surface, and the pits would be off to the side, off the image, and the pipe would be underneath. Based on the way the design is, and it's outside of any resource areas, and with the expectation that we would put erosion controls in the places where basically, even though there's really no risk, I mean these trenches will be backfilled immediately after the work, the piping is put in place. So Bill Rocco can confirm this. Bill, I believe we indicated that. How many days did you think there would be to do work on each hole?
2 to 3.
Yeah. So, the work as they're moving through the hole is only going to be occurring over a course of a couple of days.
Yes.
18 times 3, right? 50 days or plus more.
Yes, that's right. That would be the total. Well, there are actually 2 or 3, I think, holes that don't have any buffer zone work. So there are 3 of the holes that don't have any activity in any buffer zone. But yeah, this will occur, periodically over the course of a couple of months, while in the late fall, so people can still play the course while they're working on one hole. But the whole course won't be under construction at one time. With that, I mean, we're happy to answer any questions, but our request is that the commission issue a negative determination of applicability for this, with a condition that we work with the commission when the work's going to be done. Bill, I recall this isn't scheduled. You're going to have to go through some planning, and this is probably scheduled, going to be done in the late season in 2026.
August 2026.
August 2026.
You're filing now for 14 months from now.
Yeah, that's, the RDA's determinations of applicability are valid for 3 years. The reason is that the course can do the planning and contracting and get on the schedule of the standard irrigation contractors for golf courses, who obviously are in high demand. It's for working with the membership and the board and planning and budgeting for this work. Yes.
All right. I just had a couple questions.
Sure.
So from your detail, looks like your test holes or your excavation pits will be 40 feet off the road at a minimum, probably. So that gets us away from the road. The areas where you designate your crossing, have you looked at the path of where you're going? You're not going to be hitting any trees. There's any trees that should be protected because this is a scenic highway.
Right. Yeah, there would be the specific locations will be for those pits would be to avoid disruption of any trees or tree roots.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
all right. And you're gonna, we haven't heard anything from, Department of Public Services, but, you're gonna jack, your HDPE pipes under the road. The mains, my understanding is they should be, a minimum 5 feet of cover. So you're only showing 4 feet under the road. I think it should be 5 feet as the general standard. So you want to check into that.
Okay. Yeah.
And the electrical that's going with it, you're showing it under the water pipe. And I don't know if that's code, whether that should be above.
Through the chair.
Yes,
So, Michael, as you know, I am an experienced expert irrigation installer.
I
I've
heard
done
that.
I've done irrigation at golf courses, athletic fields, and I really don't want to. I respect the rest of the commission, but everything that Mr. Rocco said is absolutely true. Um, the electrical on a golf course is usually low voltage. On a situation like that, it's going to be I'm willing to bet my life that it's going to be a two-wire system when they get doing it, which has multiple decoders and all kinds of safety for that. I don't think we really have to belabor this. And I appreciate the fact that Salem Country Club came to us. You know, I mean, obviously there's been some issues before, but in general, with installation of irrigation system, exactly as he said, the piping should be installed. I I think I think that Mr. Rocco's being a little optimistic if he thinks it's going to happen in 3 days for each hole, but other than that, I don't. I think that's just optimism. I don't think there's anything that a professional irrigation installer would have any effect on anything that we're worried about.
You know, my question is that this application is a request for determination in lieu of a notice of intent. And so in some of the holes, some of the work being close to the vegetated wetlands.
Yeah, but
And
it's in buffer, and there's none of the material would be stockpiled during that trenching on that side. As I said, in any areas where it's close, we would put quar rolls, and those actually would define the limit of work as well. So there's no risk of any activity going into any resource area.
Yeah, as I said, any professional irrigation installer, I mean, this is gonna happen pretty quick. I mean, there's not going to be a chance for anything to. I just don't see any of this being a problem.
No, I don't think there's a problem. I'm just saying that, as long as it's done to the city of Peabody's standards, because that's a water main and you're doing horizontal directional drilling under the road, and make sure that you're doing that in accordance with the standards for the city, because it should be 5 feet of cover under a water main. So you
Well, I
should be
can
4
guarantee,
feet.
yeah, we got that. That's a schematic that was to give an
Yeah.
example to show the depth. I can certainly assure you that the club's contractor is going to meet all applicable city standards for that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I appreciate you pointing that out, because we'll pass that back on and make sure that's built into it. I mean, we will be contacting them and the planning board about those two aspects of it for sure.
Okay. I'm good. I don't really have any other questions. So let's see. The question is, they would like to do this under a determination, request for termination of applicability with no a negative determination, but there could be conditions, and the conditions would be that it's done in accordance with the city standards on the crossings across the public way, and and I'm okay with the other stuff that Barry had suggested about, you know, show us the area and take a look at it, and I don't see any problems with all the rest of the work.
Does this get opened up to the public?
Yeah,
One,
So
one
that-
one last comment before we open it to the public. I guess if the Concom believes that it's an RDA is sufficient for this purpose, then I would like to propose that any piping, any work that's close to the BVW, as you know, the closest within 10, 20 feet of the BVW would be notified, that Lucia be kind of like informed that 24 48 hours in advance, of 72 hours in advance of their work.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is part of the plan we were talking about, of coordinating with you on that specific point of, we'd happy to give you 48 hours notice before work's done on those areas. That's
if that's okay with Lucia, it's okay with me.
Enough time, Lucia? 2 days?
Yeah, I'm definitely not I'm more concerned about like DPS and planning board and Forest Street than I am with the wetlands.
Okay.
Okay. So motion to issue a negative determination
Open to
with
the public?
those conditions? What?
Open to the public?
Yes.
Yep. So I don't think anyone's here, but I just see the two people and it's for another item, but I am opening it to members of the public. So anyone in the audience, if you would like to speak for or against this, please raise your hand now. Seeing none, I think it would be okay for you guys to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Seconded.
All right, that motion was made by Mr. Rizzo, seconded by Ms. Green. Roll call. Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so the item is closed 6-0.
Okay.
Is there a motion for a negative determination with
Yes.
conditions?
I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination.
Second.
Anybody?
Addition of notifying the Conservation Commission running when work starts or finishes via email. And secondly, erosion control should be installed before work commences and should remain in place until the area is stabilized with sod or grass has grown in. Was there anything else that we,
I don't think that's what they planned on doing. I don't think they're gonna have any erosion control measures. That wasn't in the presentation.
no, it
We just,
was. It was.
I'm sorry.
In specific locations, like as Mr. Vivaldi mentioned, when we get in an area where we're 10 or 20 feet from a wetland, we'll
Okay,
put
yeah.
some choir rolls in and we'll give you the notice of that.
Okay, yes, thank you. All right, thank you, Arthur. And you want to second that? So you're seconding a negative determination with the conditions that Arthur had stated.
Second.
All right, so that motion was to notify staff before work starts and erosion control shall be installed if they're working 20 feet from a wetland, correct?
Yes.
All right, so that motion was made by Mr. Athos, seconded by Mr. Comack. Roll call. Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that motion passes 6-0. And Attorney Fogel, it sounds like you guys aren't in a hurry for this, so I will get it to you within the 21 days.
Have a nice vacation, Lucia.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you all. I won't say anything about the basketball game, Mr. Athos.
Thank you.
Better not.
See you next month.
All right. Okay. Next item on the agenda is item number 4. And that is also a request for determination. It's a continued public hearing on a request for determination of applicability submitted by Joseph Vieira, owner applicant. The proposed project is an after the fact filing for bringing in fill and altering the rear of the property. The cleanup will be conducted under a friendly enforcement order issued by the commission. The property is known as 154 Goodale Street, map 25, lot 64, in the city of Peabody. This is the first meeting under this, but if it's okay with everybody, I would like to combine this with item number 8. It's the same property. It's basically, I think, the same issues.
Mike,
But
so this says first meeting was February 12th.
I'm sorry, yeah, February 12th, 2025. Thank you. But I'd like to combine this with item number 8, which is the same site. This way we won't have to repeat ourselves, if that's okay with everybody. And that's it. Where we go from here? This is the petitioner here.
It doesn't appear, I don't think so. I think at that site visit, we said that it sounded like he agreed to withdraw, but he hasn't given me any. It sounded like everyone at the site visit wanted him to withdraw the RDA application and work under the enforcement order. So I feel like we need something from him telling us to withdraw it. I mean, he verbally told us he was fine with it, with withdrawing, and then you guys there was only 3 of you, and you guys had an idea of what you wanted to do. That was for an amended enforcement order.
Yes.
So we should probably discuss that with the rest of the commission. Or if you want to continue it to next month and have Mr. Vieira here, we can do that as well. I mean, it's a little hard with him not here.
Yeah, I think we should just continue this if he's not here, because I think we came up with a fairly simple solution. He just needs to move forward and withdraw his application and just go with the enforcement order.
All right, so I have a thought. If I can get him to send me email withdrawing, well, I mean, I can, if you guys want me, if the group wants me to amend the enforcement order, I can, but it might just be better. I'm talking out loud here. It might just be better to wait and come to the meeting so he understands what's going on. Forget I said anything. I think it might be better to just continue both 4 and 8. You're right.
Make a motion to continue to next month.
Second that.
All right, motion to continue item 4 and number 8 was made by Ms. Green, seconded by Mr. Athos. And again, for anyone who's in the audience, that was for 154 Goodale Street. It was an RDA. It was an after the fact filing for number 8, which is an enforcement order for illegal work in buffer zone and riverfront. Roll call. Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that passes 6-0. I will email Mr. Vieira, hopefully tomorrow. I'll remember, maybe tonight when I get off, and I'll just ask him if he wants to withdraw and tell him he needs to come to the next meeting.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Our next item under the agenda is item number 5, and it's under certificates of compliance. It's a continued request for a full certificate of compliance as made by Williams and Chris Sparagus on DEP file number 55-934. The project was the construction of a single-family home. The address is now formerly known as 0 Pearl Street and now known as 18 Pearl Street. Map 105, lot 85 in the city of Peabody. The order of conditions was issued on February 28th of 2024. That's it. So I understand there's still some flooding issues. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. How are you?
How are you? Good, thank you.
Good. Hi, my name's Pete Blaisdell. I'm going to be filling in for Chris. He's away on vacation, so I've been brought up to speed. I know this is not the first meeting with everybody. Lucia, did you get any I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Did you get any type of correspondence or anything from the owner or the owner's engineer or attorney?
I have not, and the only other person who's in the audience right now is DiBiase Companies, so
Okay.
they're not even here.
Yep. Okay. Well, I did. That's probably Chanel. I did speak with Paul today. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Everybody see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chair, my understanding is that there was some grading that was done a little further down the hill than was supposed to take place. And my understanding is that there was this pocket that was created here, and that it's been trapping water. So my understanding, again, I'm sorry if you say my understanding, I just was informed by Chris, is that they have spoken with the current owner. I believe Chris did a regrade plan that he showed to Mr. DiBiase, and he also showed to the owner. Let me see if I can get that on here. How about this? Everybody still see this light shade of blue?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea would be that we would remove these two contours that go a little bit too far down the hill that's kind of trapping the water and blocking it in this area. And by doing that, by pulling that material back, restoring it and regrading it and vegetating it, that will then allow this runoff that's been trapped to then continue moving down the slope. I was informed that the owner was having another engineer review it. I have not heard back, and neither has Lucia. So to that effect, I don't have any comments or anything from them. I don't have really anything really to discuss to you other than I believe this plan was shared with the owner by Chris Baragis. I did ask Mr. DiBiase today if it was okay to share it with the board, but since we haven't, I really don't have anything. I wish I could say definitively what we're going to do, other than let you ask some questions. I think it's probably in everyone's interest just to continue the hearing tonight, just so that the two parties can work everything out amicably and nobody's making a decision on speculation.
Okay, I would support that because I really wouldn't want to enter into any discussion without everybody here.
Agreed.
So if it's okay with the rest of the board, then I would take a motion to continue this to our next meeting.
Motion to continue to next meeting.
Second.
All right, that motion made to continue to our June meeting was made by Ms. Green, seconded by Mr. Athos. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Peter was muted. Yes.
Commissioner Athos,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Lucia, I'm recused from this. The only thing
I'm sorry. You gotta tell. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Brian. You gotta tell me at the
Yeah,
beginning because I never.
know,
I got too much going on in my brain. I apologize. So for the record, Commissioner Cassidy has recused himself from this. I apologize. So that passes.
The only thing I will say, Lucia, is again on the Laurel Company parcel there. I own that parcel now, so I don't know if that needs to be updated or not.
Hang on 1 second. Right here.
Yeah, the one. So I'm there, and then it says Laurel, and then it goes to the one that we're talking about, the Laurel Company.
Well, I'll make sure that we look up the abutters then.
Okay.
Lucia, do you have this plan? Were you ever given this?
No, I haven't been given any revised plans. No.
Okay, I'll send this over to you so that you can distribute it to the members, and then when we come back again on June, if we have anything from their engineers, fine. If not, like I said, I believe Mr. DiBiase wants to work this through with the owner and get it squared away.
All right, great. So that motion passes. It's actually, I just want to repeat it because Mr. Cassidy was recusing himself, and I want that for the record. It does pass 5-0 with Mr. Cassidy recusing himself. So it's continued
Okay.
until June. And yeah, please feel free to email it over, and I can put it up on the OneDrive so the commission can see it.
Will do.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is enforcement orders and violation orders. It's item number 6, and it's an enforcement order for 133 Forest Street. I don't know if I have to read the whole thing, but it's already continued to our next June meeting, so I don't
Yep,
need
you
to
don't
make a
have to
motion.
read it at all. It's already continued. No
All
motion,
right.
no need reading.
Very good.
You do need to read the next one though, 33 Pine Street, which
I-
that I'll speak on their behalf.
All right. Next item on the agenda is under enforcement orders, and it's a continued enforcement order issued to Haven Circle Cooperative Corporation, John Hussey, President, for the following activities: grading of land, possible fill and grade change per the Jersey barrier noted on the site, and comparing topographic plans, and creating a stone dust parking and staging area surface without filing a notice of intent. Property address is known as 33 Pine Street, map 34, lot 19 in the city of Peabody.
All right. So, and I'm sorry, I don't know why my video's not working. I'm here, but anyway, issue with my computer. So, Mr. Hussey, I assure you guys, he is not blowing you off. He has had a plan since like January. And as Mike Rizzo last meeting, you noticed that the NOI was all like incorrect. So he brought back some corrections to his consultant, and the consultant basically told him he wasn't working with him anymore and he needed to find a new consultant. So he has been out. I know he's been looking for a consultant because he tried to get LEC. LEC doesn't have the bandwidth to take him on. So he's trying. He is just hopefully he gets me something by tomorrow for June. If not, maybe he'll get it to me when I come back from vacation and he'll be on the June meeting. But I assure you guys, he's taking this really serious. I sat down with him a couple times and we thought everything was going to be great. My hands are tied. This is commercial property. I can't like really, I can't fill out the stormwater report for him. I can't,
Yeah.
He really needs to hire someone who, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he doesn't need a stormwater report, but from what I know, it's commercial. It's more than 4 units. It's for an entire trailer park. And it is stone dust, and stone dust eventually turns to be impervious. So they need to come up with, something, even if it's like, I don't know, like a dry well or like a grassy area. I mean, they need to come up with something that's gonna, I mean, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know
Yeah,
what they need to
alright.
come up with, but they need to do something more than so if you guys could continue the enforcement order, and then hopefully he gets everything squared away and maybe he, is before us with an NOI soon. But I assure you guys, he is not blowing you off. He's really upset about it. I mean, he literally had a consultant basically say, "Yeah, I'm not working for you anymore, bye." And that's after
Okay.
he spent a lot of money.
All right. Okay, well, motion to continue item number 7 to our next meeting.
Move to continue to the next meeting.
Seconded.
All right, so that motion was made by Mr. Athis, seconded by Ms. Green. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes?
Secretary Vivaldi,
Mike, you muted.
Sorry to the delay. Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that item is continued 6-0.
All right. Very good. Okay, next item on the agenda is under minor permits. Minor permit 12 Chestnut Street. Proposed work was roofing to the roofing of the existing building with staging and dumpster in the riverfront. This was approved on April 8th of 2025 with conditions that the dumpster must be kept tidy and covered at night. Any debris that falls into the brook should be removed per OSHA standards. The commission to accept the approval of the minor permit. Is anybody here for this, Lucia, or?
No, I already approved it. It was just there
Alright.
was roofing work. I actually they started it without anything, and I went over and was like, you guys are right across from City Hall. And they were like, oops, sorry, and they filled out it. It's just everything's to the existing building, so I felt comfortable, even though it's right next to the river. They were keeping everything tidy. Um
And the
I hope you guys are
dumpsters,
okay with it. It's literally just roofing and then a dumpster on a paved parking lot.
okay,
And
all
I
right,
walk by there every day, and honestly there's trash that's not from them. There's just trash everywhere in that area. So they are keeping it tidy, though they are listening.
okay,
I move,
okay, so you need to ratify that permit,
Yes, please.
okay, motion to accept this minor permit.
move approval of the minor permit for 12 Chestnut Street.
Second by somebody?
Second.
All right, so that motion to approve was made by Mr. Athis, seconded by Mr. Cassidy. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo.
Yes,
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes,
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that passes. Thank you, guys.
okay, next item on the agenda is a tree request. Trees that are to be removed is 20 North Central Street is the location. The application is still forthcoming, so Lucia has not received any application to date, and no approval to the date has been made, and no motion will be made unless paperwork has been submitted.
No paperwork's been submitted.
Okay, so motion just to continue this, right?
No, I'll if you don't even need to continue it. If he,
Right.
it was just like a placeholder. I put it on here for him. I don't even think he's removing the trees anymore. I think it was he wanted to because I caught him doing something wrong, and then he was like, "Well, what if I want to take some trees down?" And I said, well, "This is how you do it." And I think then he changed his mind after. But if he does, submit something, of course, I'll put him on the next agenda. But it's
Okay.
not a public hearing, so it doesn't need to get continued.
Okay. Next item is discussion. It's a discussion item for USGS. It's New England Water Service Center, Jason Polander. It's the USGS. They're looking to install a stream flow monitoring station, a stream gauge. USGS is working in collaboration with Mass DCR on this and other projects across the state. The North River and Proctor Brook was chosen as a high priority monitoring site, in part because of the long history of flooding in the city of Peabody. USGS will attempt to provide real-time river stream flow in the area of Proctor Brook areas near area of Waller Street and Collar Street. USGS is looking at the area around Waller Street for the new station before it goes underground. They have the capability to monitor the stream level with non-contact methods, providing the equipment is high enough to remain above the flood elevation. The USGS is seeking permission to install this equipment on the existing infrastructure, meaning the bridge, the wall, of the abutments of the bridge in that area. And that's it. I'm familiar with these. I think it's a good thing for the city to be able to have this gauging system that can monitor real-time flood conditions. So I'm sure it would only be helpful to the city and certainly to the region. So, but I don't know if they're here to ask permission but they probably just want to run it by the mayor's office to get support for this.
Yes, through the vice chairman. They are not here tonight. I wasn't expecting them to. They gave us all the literature, and they're of the hopes that the commission will approve this tonight, and then that way they can go to the mayor and say that I can let the mayor know that you guys already approved it via a public hearing.
Yeah, I think this is a good thing. So if you folks want to concur with me, we can approve this, and they can just go to the mayor and say that we concur with this work.
So I would move approval.
A question is just that the idea is that it monitors the level of the water, and so
Yeah,
it's
they
not-
have it. It's
it
there.
doesn't prevent it.
No, it's just a gauging system. So it gives real-time data for future, engineering and mitigation, and it's a good thing to have.
Sure, we'll continue the discussion then. We'll continue.
Well, I think we want to get the
Yeah,
message
right.
to the mayor that we concur and we're okay with this project.
I would move approval.
Okay,
Second.
so okay.
Did I hear a second from you, Mr. Vivaldi?
Yes.
All right, so a motion to accept and approve USGS and their stream gauge monitoring system that they're going to be installing. That was made by Mr. Athis, seconded by Mr. Vivaldi. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so that is approved 6-0.
Excellent. Okay, next item, notice Tennessee Gas Pipeline anomaly remediation. The project is maintenance of an existing pipeline and does not enlarge the existing pipeline structure. So you want to talk about that, Lucia?
Oh yeah, this was actually an oops. He sent it to Peabody and he actually meant to send it to Danvers.
Oh.
It is just over the line. It's probably like, I don't know, maybe 100 feet, maybe a little bit more. He confirmed again with me via email. I don't know if I put that stuff up on the OneDrive, but it is not in Peabody. I think it was an oops on his part, and it's pretty much all in Danvers. Very close to Peabody, but so we don't need to vote on that. We can just
All right, no need.
nothing.
Okay, we have minutes from March 12th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for the March meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay.
All right. So
and the April minutes are still pending.
Yep, the April minutes were done, but I just emailed them to you guys like, I don't know, Friday or something. So I wasn't.
Yeah.
It sounds like you haven't seen them yet, Mike. So I'll I did send them
I
out to you
did.
guys, but
Yeah, I think I did see them.
if you didn't read them, that's completely fine. I
I
just
think
tried
I
to
read
get
them too, but
Yeah, I tried to get them to you guys before the meeting so that if you, don't recall, like, so that you have a refresher basically, because I'm doing this every day, all the time. You guys only do this once a month. So I think it might, sometimes it's good for you guys if you want to go back and read it. But anyway, so that motion was to just approve the March minutes was made by
yes,
Ms. Green, seconded by Mr. Comack. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
yes,
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
okay. Well, that'll do it for the evening. Just on another note, I just want to let everybody know that I will not be in attendance at the next meeting. For the June meeting, I'll be away. So just so you know ahead of time.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
When you're done, I just want to see if we can have a quick discussion item.
Okay, and okay. Floor is yours, Bruce.
Well, through chair. So, and I already talked to Lucia about this. And I actually have pictures that I'm going to send to Lucia. I don't know why I didn't send them already because she could share them then. So I didn't want to drive Lucia nuts, and she couldn't find what I was looking for right away, and I didn't want her wasting her time looking for it. But I've been on the commission for a long time, and I do remember distinctly the Big Y Plaza when it was Hannaford. It was that plaza was owned by S.R. Weiner, and it's now owned by, I'm not even sure that I forget the name of the group. I think it's First Realty, or I don't remember the name. But anyway, one of the things we asked them that somewhere I remember distinctly that we asked them to do was to put up a fence with welded wire on it so that the litter did, and all the bags and all the stuff from there didn't blow into Crystal Lake.
Yes,
The city
I
spent a
remember
lot
that.
of money on Crystal Lake,
Yeah,
and it is a lot better than it was. So I think the money was well spent. But now the fence rotted, it was falling over, and rather than fix it, they removed it. Now,
oh,
so now there is some fence to the, I'm going to say, to the western end of it, I guess, the southwest end. But the main part in between the bank entrance and the main entrance is gone, and there's tons
they
of
need,
litter in the lake.
yeah, they need to put
And
it back.
exactly. And I
They
don't
need to put
know
it back.
if we can. I don't know if Lucia can just write a nice letter, or we can find I don't believe it was a condition or anything like that. I don't know. And again, I already called Lucia before about this, and she was going to start spending a lot of time researching it because she couldn't find it right away. And she
Yeah,
did send me some stuff that she found, but I didn't want her wasting her time on it. I just think it will be easier if we could just send a letter to them saying, look, there was
yeah,
a fence. We asked to have it put up. It used to stop the litter. Put it back. And
yeah,
again, and I think they just will. I don't think
yeah.
that they'll fight us on it.
I concur with that. I agree. I remember it. I remember it very well. And yeah, we just get them a letter that says they need to put a post and rail fence back up and with the welded wire fabric attached to it to catch any
Exactly.
debris.
Again, and I don't know who it should come from. It should have come from Lucia. Again, I don't know, but I just think we should. We don't have much sway in this town, but I think we have some sway on that. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would say we could put it, she could um, talk to community development and have them craft a letter on behalf of the Conservation Commission. And I'm okay with that. That should be enough.
Sure,
yeah,
Kurt already knows a little bit about this because I asked him if he knew anything. I mean, I was asking the clerk's office because I thought maybe city council put something. I found like a memo from you guys saying that you didn't want to fence like any meshing around Crystal Lake because that would hinder wildlife movement.
Right.
Um, so so what kind of fence was it? Does anyone have like a
It
picture?
was
'Cause
a,
I can
it
give
was
them
a,
a call.
it was a
it's
post and
still
rail
there.
fence.
It's still there. There is a section of it that's still there in between the bike path and the first entrance.
Could
So
you,
it's
when
just
you have a chance, could you send me a picture of it? So if you're out, if anyone's out that way, and send me a picture, and then that way when I can call them, I'll double check with Kurt to make sure like he doesn't want to call them. But I'd like to start with like a call first, and because
uh,
when they came to us for like the ATM, I mean, I remember they came for the ATM. I don't think it was part of that though.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't.
it
This was
wasn't. It's
way
before
before
that.
that.
This is before
It was
that.
way before that. Years
So way
before that.
before
Yeah.
me too.
No, no, I don't remember if it was Lucia. I don't think you've been here there as long as I have.
Yeah.
So I don't think it could possibly have been before you. And I just remember it being as one of the
Yeah.
first things that I was impressed by. That, wow, yeah, that's a good idea. And now,
Yeah.
like I said, if you saw the amount of litter
Yeah.
behind that guardrail, I have
Yeah.
pictures of it. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And that's the stuff that's not in the lake.
Can
So
you
some
send
of
me
it,
all of those so I have ammo? So I can, give them, this is, if you
I'll
send me those
email you these
pictures,
as soon as when we get off tonight. I'm going to email you all the pictures.
perfect.
Okay. All right. Other than that, anybody want to issue adjournment for the meeting?
I will issue a motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so that motion was made to adjourn by Ms. Green, seconded by Mr. Athis. Roll call, Vice Chairman Rizzo,
Yes.
Secretary Vivaldi,
Yes.
Commissioner Athis,
Yes.
Commissioner Comack,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cassidy.
Yes.
All right, so we are adjourned at 8:52 p.m. And I just want to tell you guys are never bothering me. So please, Bruce, don't you weren't bothering me. I was bothered that I couldn't find what you wanted me to find. So I just want you guys to know, even if I seem frazzled, you're never bothering me. It's my job, and I pretty much work for you guys, so never a bother.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I just didn't want you wasting your time. I didn't think it was something you could put your hands on. I didn't want you to drive yourself nuts trying to find it. That's all.
And June 5th, put it on your calendar.
Night,
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.